This call is being recorded.
Thank you for your patience.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Doing well. The peace dealer. What is up, my man?
Yes, sir. I'm great, man. Please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions at all whatsoever or anything you'd like to mention. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I want to say one quick thing before we get into it, and then you can go off on, my chart.
Let's go.
Um, so I'll give you a perspective on kind of how like this moment is happening. So like a couple
By the
years
way,
ago,
is your
yeah, go on.
birthday your birthday's April 2nd or February 4th?
February 4th.
All right, got you, got you. Go ahead.
February 4th, 1999, 3:42 p.m.
Awesome.
Cool.
Just wanted to make
But yeah,
sure.
like I was saying, two years ago, I was really not into astrology, mainly because the entertainment aspect kind of ruined it for me. Like I'd always see these memes on Facebook of like this sign is more likely to cheat on this person with this sign, or this sign likes tacos more than this sign. I'm like, this is not for me. But like within these last 2 years, I kind of had a spiritual awakening of sorts. I've done a lot of spiritual work, and there was something that was kind of missing, and I was like, maybe it is astrology. So I was like, I got to be a little bit more open minded about this, really start getting
Yep.
into it. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of like the YouTubers and like guys that would talk about this that never really resonated with me. But one day in January of this year, you popped up in my recommended, and I started watching your moon messages, and a lot of the information I couldn't understand, but for some reason I kept coming back, and I just kept coming back, and then all the way to like a couple of months ago, like I've noticed my understanding of astrology has grown tremendously just because of what you talk about, your lives, and like how we kind of have the same perspective on how um the world is right now in terms of like the fucking vaccine, not only that, but like the fucking fake shit going on with politics and like the fact that you're calling out all of that and then putting the astrology science behind it too is like really next level. And I just want to thank you for that, just because if it wasn't for you, to be honest, I probably wouldn't be into astrology like I am right now, if I didn't find you in the beginning of this year.
Wow, that means a lot. That means a whole lot. Especially seeing you're born in 99. And so um I always like doing charts for people born after 95 because you're our future. You're literally like the new generation. So no, it really does mean a lot. And I really appreciate you sharing that story. It helps me understand your chart so much more. I have a special link to 99 and 2000 because I was born 1990. So my north node is in Aquarius, where your south node is, and you are like the vice captain of your destiny group, which means you support the Leo sons who, in your case, you're unlocking the knowledge. I'm gonna just start off the chart with your destiny. Your destiny is to manifest destiny. So as a high priest, as a Cancer rising, you have the North Node in your second house in Leo. So you have Leo. That means you manifest courage and creativity. So in this lifetime, your destiny is to come into a lot of royal wealth, manifesting your creative talents. And you're using the resources of the knowledge that you're able to deal with others and their resources, especially as an eighth houser. If you find out that people just open their mouth and tell you all sorts of secrets without you asking them or without them having to say anything, you're aware of it.
Yeah, it happens
That
a lot.
Right, that's a part of it. So you're using that as a resource to manifest more value of your own. It's like gaining investments, working in stocks. There's so many ways you could do this. But the first thing that I wanted to start the reading off, just to make sure we're clear, bro, you are literally, you're a literal alien god. Okay? So I have to make sure
Ah,
we're
yeah.
clear here.
Yeah,
This
the
is,
alien shit is definitely there.
oh yes, no, I have to do a documentary on this. So like, there's Capricorns in the 90s, and then there's Aquarians born in the late 90s, 2000s. Y'all are all like power packed, supernatural aliens or gods. And the reason why I'm saying that is you have Uranus and Neptune in the same sign as your sun. You even have Mercury next to your sun. This is lit. This is not only lit. Science will probably never catch up to this in another like 10 years, if ever, because especially in Aquarius, Aquarius is supernatural. So you have Uranus in its dignity. Not only do you have the supernatural connection to the astral realm and causal realm, so you can astral project at will, but this is a sense of claircognizance and cosmic telepathy that legitimately, because now you're aware of this, like your sun powers this. So like you could literally in your dealings with, and on top of that, you're intuitive as a Cancer rising. So you can literally walk into any place socially and already know what they're going to be like and what they're going to do. And it's
Oh
weird
yeah.
because, thanks for confirming this. This is very important because you represent one of the most controversial, you know, essences ever concerning the whole notion of foregoing inductive or deductive reasoning. The whole notion of our school structure, which is interesting because you have Jupiter in the ninth in Pisces, so you're going to innovate and evolve the way the metaphysical is taught and the abstract is taught. It doesn't have to be like sci-fi spiritual mumbo jumbo. Pisces is an advanced extension of science through quantum mechanics and the metaphysical. So you actually are very gifted at teaching this. The Jupiter return is going to put you into accelerated program of learning or where you can teach too. But personally, um, even though you have this critical perspective of learning, the third house Virgo means the way you like to learn is to analyze, you know, take into account the details. Regardless, I want to make sure we're clear. There's nothing normal about it. So, like, you literally have the ability. And the reason why I have to say it like this is because you're legitimately, and you know what a deal is as an Aquarius, but you're legitimately
Hold
grown
on.
up
You
and
cut for like the last 5 seconds. Your audio like clipped for a
hold
little
up this
bit.
shit, right?
Oh,
My bad, that happens. Let me change that real quick. Appreciate you. I think that was a form of interference too. Thank you for your patience. But oh, let me try that again.
good.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's a little better. I couldn't hear the bass in your voice.
Oh man, I don't know why this is trying to do this. Thanks for your patience again.
You're good. Take your time. I know this fucking internet shit doesn't always work to our best.
No, you're actually legitimately getting interviewed. Every time I talk about Aquarius energy or something like this, like weird glitches like this happen. There was a whole year where like I would talk to Aquarians and like the call would get cut because we're not, Gemini and Aquarius are kind of taboo because we literally just reveal the truth of everything. Because Aquarius is knowledge and Gemini is truth, and so they don't like us. But other than that, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Personally, this is very important because once again, like with this aqua energy, the reason why it's hard for me to say is you've legitimately since birth been taught that everything that you are is relegated to science fiction and fantasy. So like there's certain abilities that you don't even have to think about using because you are it. Like you do it, and you've been taught it's impossible. Like being able to claircognizantly just know what's going to happen before it happens, not because you saw a psychic vision, but because you're an alien god and you fucking just know. Like you're the
Yeah, like
classic celestial high king, and this is so very important because as a classic celestial, you came into this role as a priest, so like you're ordaining this celestial vibration. You didn't come to play around. That's why you're in the eighth house and like you can murk fools with this. But this really is to build much more extraordinary intimacy with those who looks like your destiny is to cultivate that knowledge to come into more creativity. And I hate to interrupt you earlier. Please continue what you're saying. But this is a huge deal. I'm like speaking to a celebrity right now.
no, I was gonna just confirm what you're saying. How like Aquas just like know it rather than having like a psychic vision. Cause like
Right,
what I would
right.
like when I think of like the knowing or superpowers, like I guess like that's the most common thing is yeah, psychic vision or these weird things. But like it's not it's not really like that. It's kind of just you already know, and then once you have that intuition of that feeling, then it kind of if you confirm it and you trust your gut, then you know you're right, and then you see it
Right.
manifest into whatever plays out, and you're like, "Yup, yeah, I already knew that."
Exactly. But you have to understand the level of ability and energy you have is nothing compared to literally nothing. Like you were born at a level already out of this world and advanced from some of the greatest psychic minds like myself, but you still have barely awakened the fullness of your ability. And that's why the next generation is like on a whole nother level. So like Pluto's going to go into your sign 2023 and 24, and that's going to begin your awakening journey where you are a part of this celestial awakening. And like the reason why you're still experiencing, I just want to kind of put into context how psychologically the cultural social effect on you will still subconsciously have you do things the way we're meant to, but like you're stepping into a whole new different version of tapping into this where like you can blindfold yourself and you literally just know. Like I want to take this to an extreme because this is a huge deal. So I'm going to share with you this alien construct article about being a Neptunian power alien and a Uranian power alien, specifically Uranus, because the ruler of your eighth house of Aquarius falls in your eighth, seventh house next to your Sun and Mercury in Aquarius. And so this is not only like electrokinesis and causal and astral realm ability to legitimately ascend and reflect back at advanced psychic levels, cosmic energy that reveals the higher knowledge of what's happening. I mean, this energy is so extra dimensional, people wouldn't even realize that their behavior is being 100% influenced by you outside of time and space. They're going to think they thought it. And so, and this
Mhm.
could legitimately be tied to just a thought you have that people instantly start to react to. So that's why it's hard to speak on this because science is pretty much erroneously taught that this type of phenomena isn't even possible when your existence is controversial because you prove that's wrong. Especially with Neptune on the sun, you can talk to the dead, you can literally ascend, you can easily access the causal and astral plane and other dimensions. So this is what's going to make a lot more sense to you when Pluto starts to awaken this knowledge coming into post 2024, where you will have already had your Saturn return and you'll be ready to fully step in to your legacy, which is just super gangster, bro. So I just had to start the reading off on that tip. You are a supernatural, extra dimensional alien god. And the thing is, who's another example of this? Damn, he plays for the Heat. Um, oh, Tyler Harrow. Tyler Harrow is also an alien god Aqua. He's trolling too. Like he's just playing on the Heat. Like probably not even playing his best. But I want to keep that in mind because Michael Jordan is also an Aquarius. So yeah, like y'all represent like the next advent of consciousness. Like y'all are gonna be leaders of the collective. The energy that y'all have will never happen again, like in a whole lifetime. So like it's super rare. This is super rare. This is so fucking rare.
Interesting.
But it's also controversial because like there's certain people who will never really process or be able to understand the high level of cosmic energy you process. And that's where with Mercury and Aquarius, your brain is able to process so geniusly it's going to come off as intuitive, but it's just super genius. Like you can process stuff so fast it'll look like psychic intuition, and there are elements of it, but you're just super smart. And it's not that you're just super smart. You have a knowing that comes into a higher causal ability to process knowledge in your environment and dealings with others that now take these extra dimensional aspects that are not visible by the human eye and now enable you to still process this cosmic energy through your knowing and deal with others accordingly. So you're always going to bring knowledge to people that would literally transform the way they think. And this is how now as a Cancer rising, you're taking this air energy and you're putting it in water houses to give you a psychic understanding of communication, where now you're hearing into the vocal tonality of what people are saying, and you're tapping more into a deeper psychological understanding of where it's coming from, as opposed to just hearing it face value and logically. And if we bring in now the Libra moon nature of your celestial royalty as a high king, you are a classic celestial, which means that your soul is balanced. The Libra moon aqua is one of the most powerful aquas. Y'all are straight ambassadors of this dimension. Like, you're in constant contact with higher extra dimensional beings and frequencies, which once again could be tough because you're caught in the middle place of literally, by the way, I'm going to give you the superpower article. Aquarius sun is cosmic awareness. Just so we're clear, like, you literally have the ability to extend your conscious awareness beyond just the solar system and be very well aware of phenomena that's happening extra dimensionally and metaphysically outside of this universe and outside of this galaxy, while still anchoring your physical body here. It's something that all Aquarius suns have, because the sun is awareness and cosmic is Aquarius. As simple as that. Gemini and Libra do have their own version of it, but just to be clear, like, Aquarius is one of my favorite signs by far. Sagittarius and Libra are my favorite signs, but Aquarius has my full respect. Like, that's my 10th house, because a lot of people do not understand what Aquarius even is. Talk less of the representatives like y'all who do this. Like, you're always at some, we're entering your age, so there's going to be more awareness, but a lot of people don't realize that y'all are gods, like, straight up. And when I say that, I mean that y'all are awakened beings who are here to assist humanity. Like, everyone in this world has soul wisdom. We come into this life with soul wisdom and our individual experiences that we can share with others, right? But that doesn't mean that everyone actually knows. There's little or few people who know. In fact, the only people who actually know anything are Aquarians. And this is really controversial to say. Everyone else is really just postulizing, conjecturing. You know what I'm saying? Alphas actually know. And so you're literally channeling this knowledge. If you think Nikola Tesla was saying that out there in the universe is the source of all knowledge, he's talking about Aquarius. He's talking about the fixed signs. So this is where personally, there's that burden of leadership. But now, being born in '99, you are a spark of the new generation. I have Pluto Scorpio. I'm born 1990. So we're here to fuck shit up, literally. Like, we literally have to destroy that which wasn't built in purity. All the fucked up shit the older generation left behind, was to destroy all that. And it's a lot. It's a lot. But then y'all actually create the new world. When we're done with that, y'all got the updated, advanced supernatural ability and vision. We pass you the torch. Y'all literally spark the new concepts. Your Saturn return is due. You're having a Jupiter return next year, and then you're having a Saturn return 2025. It's going to start 2024, but no. It's going to start 2025. It's going to end, I want to say, like 2027. That's when yours is going to be complete. Right. And this is important because that's when you're going to establish your legacy. And
Yeah, I thought it was
because
gonna be till I was 30. The Saturn
well,
return, but I
yeah,
guess I didn't read that right.
no, you're right. It is. The Saturn return starts around 28, 29, and ends 30.
And 2025
So
will be 26.
2025, right. So Saturn's going to enter Aries 2025. That's when you enter the final exam test room. But your Saturn truly won't return until, if I give you an exact date, I want to say 2027. Yep, 2027, September 5th, 2027 is going to be the exact Saturn return for you. It's going to be like, well, it's going to retrograde then. So it's going to be around there, let's just say. Technically, it's not going to come in until 2028. But since it's around that region, you know what I'm saying? We can just say it around that ballpark, because it's Saturn return isn't just one day versus a period of time. So this is where coming into that, and boom, you establish this, your power's more awakened than ever, because by that time, Pluto will actually be 5 degrees Aquarius, already awakening your Neptune. So huge deal, huge stuff. It's going to be squaring your Mars and Scorpio. And the reason why this is important is you're one of the most important people, like your generation specifically, because everyone born like 96, 97, 98, 99, y'all have Saturn Aries. And so when we spark this new generation, y'all are sparkers. The Saturn Taurus are the builders. The person who I spoke to before, ironically, was also born like later in 1990, 99. So he has Saturn Taurus. And so everything that y'all spark, they're going to build and sustain. Then we have the enlighteners that are going to build greater ideas based on that foundation of building. So y'all have some of the most important job coming into the next decade to lead humanity as you come of age into the brand new world, my friend. And this is where we're entering a new age of gods, where people who have Pluto Scorpio and above, but really Pluto Sagittarius, have full functioning capability to metahuman and supernatural ability, something that older generations could not harness because while they had psychic ability, they still had to develop the gene pool. They still had to grow consciousness and make mistakes and do all sorts of whatever. So, anyway, very excited to see your chart like this because you're literally on the verge of stepping into all this, my friend. As a Cancer rising, Saturn's in your eighth, Jupiter's in your eighth. It's transforming your whole world. Pluto just awakened more so your partnerships. So 2020 was a year where it did construction on your relationships as a Cancer rising. See, as an Aquarius sun, that was the end. It was transcending your awareness and the unconscious spiritual beliefs around partnerships so that now the construction's over. You can get married, you can start a business partnership. You finish chapter 7. Chapter 8 is transforming how you bring this alien knowledge to deal with other people. And it's going to shock them. A lot of people are freaked out by you because they can't understand how, like, they were just thinking about yellow gumdrops and that's their greatest secret. And now all of a sudden you walk up and you're like, hey, what do you think about yellow gumdrops? And now they're like, what? How did he know? Like, this is so weird. Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
But they don't
that
know
shit's
that.
been happening a lot lately. It's been happening a lot.
See,
Like, well, I'll just give one example that just happened yesterday. So me and my girl were
wow.
watching Spider-Man 2. 2 days ago actually. We watched Spider-Man 2, the one of that classic one, Tobey Maguire. La da da da.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
So then my cousin comes over the next day, and we're smoking and shit. And he's scrolling through his phone, and then he gets like this the Spider-Man 2 villain, the Doctor Ock, like picture on his newsfeed, and then it was like some meme that he read out loud. He's like, "This is funny, but I never get Spider-Man stuff." And then he showed me it, and I was like, I giggled slightly because I was like, "That's funny," because I just saw that shit yesterday.
See, right. And like noticing signs like that is more of an indicator that you're awakening more of the supernatural energy as a celestial. Okay. And once again, like the whole notion of celestials aren't necessarily as understood, really. It's not necessarily a concept that has realistically been opened up as well. But personally, you're ready like never before to champion this. You're coming into a lot of this young, and I just wanted to honor you for that. So I don't want to make this too much of a transit forecast, but
No, you're good.
personally,
You're good.
right. But because I wanted to talk about you coming out the eighth house. Well, next year is your rising star year. You're going to come into ascension, and it's going to legitimately prepare you to start to teach the skills that you've come into know. Normally, during this period, you may go through like a 2 year or 1 year uh, higher education program, or like it could be online, or it could be a workshop. It's going to really complete a lot of the skill set that you've come into and know. But personally, outside of that, yeah, we know you have Mars and Scorpio. Mars and Scorpio takes the intensity of everything that you personally come in to express through your sexuality and through your actions. It actually trines Venus in its exaltation and Pisces, which is a blessing because now you're very deep and intense and focused in the way you harness and charge sexual energy. And then you're very romantic abundantly, with the way that you show this element of divine love. Venus and Pisces individuals don't even have to exceptionally be romantic as much as you tap into this imaginative and very dreamy essence of love, which could be unconditional. And the influence of Jupiter here will really expand how much more abundantly you can tap into this, especially financially. So that works well. The water takes the intensity of Scorpio and then it manifests a much more divine experience through your heart. We just have to also be mindful of your moon because it's not directly opposite Saturn, but this is an inhibitive influence where because you have a balanced soul, your Libra moon is able to feel the nature of other people's characters. You and I have cardinal souls. So when our moons are in cardinal signs, we are receptive to the actions of other people. People can make one action and we're going to be intuitively receptive to how that reveals elements of their character. My moon's in Capricorn. So anything that anyone does, I literally can just know the root meaning of it. It's weird as fuck,
Yeah, no,
but like
I
I'm
feel you.
on it.
I feel you
Right.
100,
It's like,
101%.
ri- well, as an Aquarius, you pimp this out too. It's lit because you already know. So the Libra moon is just going to confirm what you're seeing. It's just going to align more how to see what you know in other people's actions. So I'll know the integrity of like, okay, this person did this because they're insecure, or this person did this because I can sense if what they did had integrity. You have this in Libra, so you can sense and be receptive to the classic balance. How classic or polished is their character? You can really come up with more social understanding of how that person identifies and expresses themselves, if they're faking it or not. But Saturn opposite it could be an outside influence that can inhibit how you share the private feelings of what you feel, especially if there's a need to prove yourself or whatnot. So it's actually a very powerful position, but it's something to keep in mind. You also have, of course, Chiron on Pluto and Sag. And so you're healing the integration of this extreme level of creativity with this powerful grand fire trine that enables you to unlock extremely this amazing lifestyle where you transform and you heal the passionate lifestyles of others, seeing into the meaning of people's behaviors and triggering the fuck out of them. I'm gonna be real because people will be pissed off before the truth sets them free. So it's not like you're trying to just fix people's life, but this is going to be a role that helps you transform the minds of others by just showing people. Sad just seeing it. So you're just going to show, hey, you probably want to change this that you're doing, and this will happen. Now it does square Venus. So you may have extra dimensionally supernatural experiences that you're afraid to share because they're just going to sound crazy, or it's just you're able to see into like different possibilities extremely, and this can make things challenging. But I think this level of intensity you legitimately signed up for deliberately. So whereas it would be painful for other people, you might actually really like it. So I hate to cut this call short, my brother, but I'm going to send you this recording. I think this is amazing that we were able to touch base like this, and I really look forward to keeping in touch with
Sure.
you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna. Hopefully, we could schedule another one pretty soon too. Maybe the forecast one.
Yeah, for
But yeah,
sure. I
this
would
was
recommend that next.
yeah, yeah, this is definitely needed. I wanted to do this one first, like I said, because I just started learning about this in January after that one video that got recommended, and the fact
Nice.
that I was able to obtain all this information, from there, just off of not only you, but you gave the passion to make me dig deeper into it because I didn't have that before. So
Right.
whatever, how this happened, I don't know, but I think it's just super dope how you're explaining this, how you're able to have some actual science behind it as well, and it's not all batshit crazy. It's actually like pretty dope.
Yeah, and you're literally the future. So I'm glad we were able to touch base, and you stay blessed as always, brother. And I'll hear from you